Hey guys, Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's video, we're going to be starting off by sort of putting our tinfoil hat on a little bit. So as you guys know, tomorrow on Wednesday, September 16th, Sony is doing their PlayStation 5 event, and a lot of people have been anxiously awaiting this, not only to see what Sony is going to be doing, but also fans of Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar fans, they've been wanting to see if another appearance will show up. And one thing that has kind of sparked a bit more interest in this is that earlier today, Rockstar actually unpinned their tweet on Twitter. So in case you guys don't know how that works on Twitter, you can pin a tweet that goes to the very top of your profile. And ever since the Los Santos Summer Special, Rockstar have had that tweet pinned. So it would be the first thing you saw when you went to their profile. Well, now if you go to their profile, their pinned tweet has actually been removed. And now it just simply shows the last tweet that they put out, which was last Thursday on September 10th, to outline the latest event week in Grand Theft Auto Online. So in case you guys don't know what this means, Rockstar always pin their tweets about their latest announcements, which has generally been about Grand Theft Auto Online updates, and they unpin them for about a day before announcing their next thing. So unpinning a tweet today could imply a new announcement or pinned tweet later today or sometime tomorrow. And if it is tomorrow, there's a good chance that it might be associated with the PlayStation 5 event. So again, just a little bit of speculation on my part here. This certainly doesn't confirm that Rockstar is going to be at Sony's event. I still think it would be very cool if they did show up, whether they talked about GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2. The world would explode if they did something crazy like talked about Grand Theft Auto 6. So again, that's something we're going to have to follow. But just keep in mind that that is what Rockstar did earlier today. Now, for the rest of this video, we're going to be talking about Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick, who, as you guys know, Take-Two Interactive is the parent company of Rockstar Games. He actually did a couple of interviews with the website Protocol and with the website Barron's. And he talked about the future of games. He talked about the success of Grand Theft Auto. He talked about how the next generation consoles are going to work, and a whole lot more. So I will leave links to both of those interviews in the description if you'd like to read the entire thing for yourself. In today's video, we're going to try and tackle all the highlights of what Strauss Zelnick ended up talking about during these two interviews. So on the website Protocol, they actually started off with a quote from Strauss Zelnick that happened from a few years ago that I think is interesting given what we know is going to happen in 2021. This is what it says: "There's definitely a method to Strauss's madness," said veteran game industry analyst Michael Patcher of Wedbush Securities. "Several years ago, I asked him, why don't you make Grand Theft Auto Online free? And he said, we have a lot of copies left to sell. I thought he was nuts, but since then, they've sold another 30 million copies, and I'm like, whoa, that was the truth." So that's interesting because, as you guys know, in 2021, there's going to be a standalone version of GTA Online. And we don't know really any details about that version of Grand Theft Auto Online, other than we know it's going to continue to get updates, and it's going to be free for a bit for players on the PlayStation 5. But we also don't know like how much it's going to be. Like, is it going to be $5? Is it going to be $10? Is it going to be $15, $20, $25, $30 just for GTA 5's multiplayer? Now, after that, the website asked Strauss, now that we're at the tail end of this last console cycle, what do you see in particular over this generation that has really changed the industry? And long story short, he basically boils it down to that now video games are lasting a whole lot longer. And he even mentions Grand Theft Auto. He said, in the case of GTA 4, one would argue that it was a couple-year experience. And in the case of Grand Theft Auto 5, now that's been a 7-year experience, and it's still going strong. In fact, GTA Online will have another record year this fiscal year for us. And this is obviously not true only for Take-Two, it's true for the entire industry. So if he says that GTA 4 was a couple-year experience, Grand Theft Auto 5 is a 7-year plus experience, what are they hoping for the next Grand Theft Auto game, GTA 6? Are they hoping it'll last a decade, 15 years, 20 years? Like, that seems ridiculous to think about, but we are approaching 10 years of GTA 5 relatively quickly. So that'll be something to keep in mind right there. I thought that was for sure an interesting quote by Strauss. Next thing Strauss Zelnick talks about was potentially future Take-Two titles, which Rockstar Games would fall under that, making the leap to a $70 price point. On the next generation, after $60 has been the norm for so long. And Strauss says the bottom line is that we haven't seen a frontline price change increase for nearly 15 years, and production costs have gone up 200 to 300%. But more to the point, since no one really cares about what your production costs are, what consumers are able to do with the product has completely changed. We deliver a much, much bigger game for $60 or $70 than we delivered for $60 10 years ago. The opportunity to spend money online is completely optional, and it's not a free-to-play title. It's a complete, incredibly robust experience, even if you never spend another penny after your initial purchase. So it does sort of look like Take-Two games in the future, and again, Rockstar titles would fall under that umbrella, will be $70 going forward on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series S. And that's definitely going to be a weird change to get over, especially because, the last 15 years I've been buying video games. It's always been $60 when they've been brand new. So that is an interesting question that I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Like, how do you think this is going to affect people buying video games? Do you think $70 is too much? Do you think it's, the right amount of money based off of what you get out of purchasing a video game now, based off of what you got purchasing a video game, let's say 15 years ago? Let me know what you guys are thinking in those comments down below. Now, since we're on the subject of Sony and the PlayStation 5, Strauss was asked this: how is Sony being aggressive at the moment when it seems like they're saying very little? And he said, I think you're going to see that they will be very aggressive on the content side and on the marketing side. They're going to focus, as they always do, on aiming at an advantage on the content side. But Microsoft's trying to do the same thing, as you know. Microsoft has bought some studios. There's a lot of stuff that they own and control. Perhaps they'll do more of that. They have a great balance sheet. So what he means by that is Sony is probably trying to get a lot of exclusive titles. Now, I know this is just a rumor, and there's been reports of this, but it's been floated around that Sony has either been trying to give Rockstar some sort of dollar amount to get Grand Theft Auto 6 exclusive for whether it's some point in time, permanently. I feel like there's no dollar amount that would allow them to do that. To get GTA 6 to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. But regardless of GTA 6, we've already seen how successful Sony has been working with Rockstar, as we know they're working with them to promote GTA 5 when it arrives on the next generation systems. They announced it at Sony's press conference. They're working with Sony to reward current players on the PlayStation 4. So it seems like Take-Two and Rockstar have a very good relationship with Rockstar, and it looks like they intend on keeping that up. Now, again, if you guys would like to check out both of these interviews on Barron's and Protocol, I'll leave a link to them in the description. Strauss was also asked about how Google and Amazon and Apple are approaching new consoles and new console launches. He ends up talking about how new competitors to the business, like Google Stadia and cloud gaming, how that has impacted Rockstar. And he's gone on to say a couple of different things, like that they've sold 135 million units of GTA 5, 32 million units of Red Dead Redemption 2. He talks about subscription services like Xbox Games Pass, whether he believes that is a good thing or not. Needless to say, it's very interesting to hear from Rockstar Games' boss as far as like how he thinks the future is going to work and if any of it is relevant to how Rockstar might operate going forward in the future. So anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about Rockstar making that mysterious change on their Twitter account, unpinning that tweet. Do you think we'll see something revealed or announced tomorrow? And also, what do you think of these interviews from Strauss Zelnick? Do you think he said anything noteworthy or interesting? Let me know what you guys are thinking in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.